Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Our current session focuses on the approach and theory of language and of learning behind content-based instruction. I hope and expect by the end of this session you would have some understanding of the theoretical underpinnings of CBI. Well, my dear students, when it comes to CBI, it is grounded in two central principles. The first principle that it is based on is that people learn a second language more successfully when it comes to the use of language as a means of acquiring certain information or certain contents rather than language itself. In other words, language is only to be used as a tool to get some information or to gain some knowledge. The second principle that it is based on is that CBI instruction better reflect the needs of the learners for learning a second language. So it has to address the particular needs based on the role or based on the context where the learner is situated. Many content-based programs serve to prepare ESL students, that is English as a second language students, for academic studies or for mainstreaming, for example. Well, as far as the theory of language that operates behind CBI is concerned, there are certain important aspects of it. The first important aspect of it is language is text and discourse based. Well, CBI addresses the role of language as a vehicle for learning contents, or it is used as a tool to provide information or knowledge to the learners. The focus is not on the teaching of language itself. This implies the centrality of linguistic entities longer than single sentences. It does not focus on the teaching of structures or chunks of language, because the focus of teaching is how meaning and how information are to be communicated to the learner in this approach. The second important aspect of theory of language is that language use draws on integrated skills. So CBI views language use as involving several skills together. It does not believe in the isolation of one skill from the other, and it believes that all the skills operate together. In a content-based class, students are often involved in activities that link the skills with each other, because this is how the skills are generally involved when it comes to real life. So, in a CBI classroom, students might read and take notes, listen and write a summary, or respond orally to the things they have read or they come across in the written form. Thus, all the skills are integrated. And rather than viewing grammar as a separate dimension of language, in CBI, grammar is seen as a component like the other skills. The third important aspect is that language is considered to be purposeful. Well, language is used to serve certain purposes. It is used as a tool to convey certain information for specific purposes. The purpose may be academic, vocational, social, or recreational. There can be any dimension of this purpose, but language is used to give directions. It gives directions, shapes, and ultimately gives meaning to the discourse and thus the texts. As far as the theory of learning that operates behind CBI is concerned, again it has its important aspects. The first important aspect is that regardless of the type of CBI model, all the models that are used within CBI, they share successful language learning occurs when students are presented with target language material in a meaningful and contextualized way. So the material, if it is presented in isolation, it does not work. It has to be meaningful, which can only be obtained or achieved when it is put into some real life social context. Some content areas are more useful as a basis for language learning than, for example, geography is often the very first choice of subject matter. It is highly visual, spatial, and it has a context. Students learn best when their needs are addressed. Thus, CBI is content-based that provides the contents that are needed by the students.